She walked into his penthouse with a plan to steal everything. But when she opened his safe, she found something that shattered her whole world. What she discovered that night would force her to choose between the only life she's ever known and a truth she never saw coming. Keisha's hands shook as she pressed the button for the 32nd floor. The elevator smelled like expensive perfume and money. She looked at herself in the mirror. Red dress, gold earrings, lipstick the color of wine. She looked good. She had to look good. Her phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. "You got this, baby. Remember, jewelry first, then the safe code." In and out. She deleted the message. Her heart banged against her chest like it wanted to escape. This was the biggest job yet. David Chen, 73 years old, owner of half the real estate in Atlanta, worth $200 million. Lives alone in a penthouse. Lonely. Perfect. The elevator doors opened. Her heels clicked on marble floors. Everything up here was white and cold and expensive. She found apartment 3201 and knocked 3 times. The door opened. David Chen stood there in a navy sweater and khaki pants. He was tall. His hair was silver and combed back. His eyes were kind. Too kind. Keisha felt something twist in her stomach. "Keisha," he said. His voice was soft. "Mr. Chen." She smiled. "Thank you for inviting me up." They had met 2 weeks ago at a coffee shop on Peachtree Street. She had spilled her latte on his newspaper. An accident that wasn't an accident. They had talked for an hour. He told her about his real estate company. She told him lies. That she was a grad student at Georgia State. That she was studying business. That she was 28. She was actually 32. Everything about her tonight was a lie except her name. "Please come in," David said. He stepped aside. The penthouse was huge. Windows everywhere. The city lights of Atlanta spread out below like a blanket of stars. Leather couches. Glass tables. Art on the walls that probably cost more than cars. But it felt empty. Like a museum. Like nobody really lived here. "Wine?" David asked. "Yes, please." Keisha set her purse on the couch. Inside the purse was a small camera, a USB drive and pepper spray. Just in case. David walked to the kitchen. Keisha's eyes moved fast. She needed to find the bedroom. That's where rich people kept their good stuff. Watches. Jewelry. Marcus said David Chen kept a safe behind a painting in his bedroom. Marcus knew a guy who used to work security in this building. The guy said the safe code was David's late wife's birthday. "I hope you like red," David called from the kitchen. "I love red," Keisha called back. She moved toward a hallway. 3 doors. One was open. Bathroom. Marble and gold. She kept walking. "The view is incredible up here," David said. He came back with 2 wine glasses. He handed her one. Their fingers touched. His hands were warm. "Shaky." "It's beautiful," Keisha said. She sipped the wine. It tasted expensive. Smooth. She hated that she liked it. They sat on the couch. David talked about his company. About the new apartment buildings he was developing in Midtown. About how hard it was to keep up with everything at his age. Keisha nodded. Smiled. Laughed at his jokes. She was good at this. She had been doing this since she was 19. 13 years of lying. 13 years of taking from people who had too much. But something felt different tonight. David wasn't like the others. He wasn't showing off. He wasn't trying to touch her leg or stare at her chest. He just talked. Like he was lonely. Like he needed someone to listen. "Can I use your bathroom?" Keisha asked after 30 minutes. "Of course. Down the hall. Second door." Keisha stood up. Her legs felt weak. She walked down the hallway. Past the bathroom. Pushed open the last door. The bedroom was big. A king-size bed with gray sheets. More windows. More city lights. And there, on the wall across from the bed, a painting. Beach scene. Waves and sand. That had to be it. Keisha's heart raced. She walked to the painting. Lifted it carefully. Safe. Black metal. Digital keypad. She pulled out her phone. Marcus had sent her the code. August 14, 1979. David's wife died 10 years ago. Cancer. Keisha knew everything about him. Marcus made sure of that. She typed in the numbers. The safe beep. Click. The door swung open. Inside was cash. Stacks of $100 bills. A Rolex watch. Diamond earrings. A pearl necklace. Keisha's hands reached in. This was it. $20,000 easy. Maybe more. She and Marcus could disappear for 6 months. Maybe a year. But then she saw it. At the back of the safe. A wooden box. Carved with flowers. Keisha picked it up. It was light. She opened it. Inside was a photograph. Faded. Bent at the corners. Woman. Young. Maybe 25. Beautiful. Dark skin. Bright smile. Hair in braids. She wore a yellow sundress and stood in front of a house. A small house with blue shutters. Keisha's hands went cold. The box fell from her fingers. It hit the floor with a soft thud. She knew that house. She knew that yellow dress. She knew that smile. It was her mother. The woman in the photograph was her mother. Shanice Williams. Dead for 15 years. Overdose. That's what the police said. Keisha was 17 when it happened. She came home from school and found her mother on the bathroom floor. Cold. Blue. Keisha. She spun around. David stood in the doorway. His face was pale. His eyes were wide. Keisha couldn't speak. Her throat closed up. Tears burned her eyes. David looked at the open safe. At the money in her hands. At the photograph on the floor. His face changed. Something broke inside it. You found her, he whispered. If this story is touching your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe to Tales by Mbel. Your support helps us share these powerful stories with more people who need to hear them. Now let's see how Keisha's night unfolds. Keisha couldn't breathe. The room spun. She dropped the money. Bills floated to the floor like leaves. How do you have this? Her voice cracked. How do you have a picture of my mother? David's hands trembled. He stepped into the room slowly, like he was afraid she might run or disappear. Shanice, he said. Her name was Shanice. Don't say her name. Keisha backed against the wall. Her whole body shook. You don't get to say her name. Who are you? How did you know her? David's eyes filled with tears. Real tears. They ran down his cheeks and he didn't wipe them away. I loved her, he said. I loved her more than anything in this world. Keisha felt like she was falling. Like the floor had opened up beneath her. That's impossible. My mother never mentioned you. Never. Not once. I know. David sat on the edge of the bed. His shoulders slumped. He looked smaller suddenly. Older. She couldn't. We couldn't be together. Not back then. What are you talking about? Keisha's voice was loud now. Angry. Back when? Explain this to me right now or I swear. 1998, David said quietly. I met your mother in 1998. I was married. My wife was sick. Had been sick for years. Your mother worked at the hospital. She was a nursing assistant. She took care of my wife. She was so kind. So beautiful. Talk. Then we talked more. Then. He stopped. Put his face in his hands. Keisha felt dizzy. She slid down the wall until she was sitting on the floor. Her red dress bunched up around her knees. You had an affair with my mother. Yes. David's voice was barely a whisper. For 2 years. I loved her. I wanted to leave my wife. To be with Shanice. To help raise you. But my wife found out. She threatened to take everything. The company. The money. Everything. And Shanice, your mother, she told me to stay. She said she didn't want to be the reason my life fell apart. She ended it. Moved away. Changed her number. I never saw her again. Keisha's mind raced. She remembered moving when she was 7. From a nice apartment in Buckhead to a tiny place in southwest Atlanta. Her mother crying all the time. Men coming and going. Then the drugs. Pills at first. Then worse. Then needles. Then nothing. She fell apart after we moved, Keisha said. Her voice sounded far away, like it belonged to someone else. She couldn't keep a job. She started using. By the time I was 12, I was taking care of her instead of her taking care of me. David made a sound like a wounded animal. I didn't know. I tried to find her. For years. I hired investigators. They couldn't locate her. She disappeared. And then 10 years ago, I finally found her name in an obituary. She was already gone. Keisha's chest hurt. Everything hurt. Why did you keep her picture in a safe? Why hide it? Because my wife was still alive then. She died 6 months after I found out about Shanice. I kept the picture because it was all I had left. The only proof that what we had was real. Keisha looked at him. Really looked at him. At his silver hair. His dark eyes. His hands. And then she saw it. The way his nose curved. The shape of his jaw. The exact shade of his skin. She had seen those things before. In the mirror. Every single day. "Oh God," she whispered. "You're my father." David's face crumpled. "I've known since I met you at the coffee shop. The moment I saw you, I knew. You look just like her. You have her smile. Her laugh. Her eyes. I had a DNA test done. From the coffee cup you left behind. Came back last week. 99.9% match." Keisha felt like screaming. Like breaking something. Like running. "You knew. This whole time you knew and you didn't say anything." "I didn't know how." David stood up. His voice broke. "What was I supposed to say? Hi, I'm your father. I abandoned you and your mother 30 years ago. I wanted to know you first. To see who you became. To what? To play games." Keisha grabbed her purse. Stood up. Her legs shook. "I came here to rob you. Did you know that too? I'm a con artist. I steal from rich people. That's what I do. That's who I am. Your daughter is a criminal." David stared at her. "I know." Keisha froze. "What?" "I know about Marcus. About the scams. About all of it. My security team did a background check after the coffee shop. Before I invited you here. Then why did you let me come?" "Because you're my daughter." David's voice rose. Strong. Desperate. "Because I lost your mother and I've spent 30 years regretting every choice I made. 'Cause I wanted one chance to know you. To help you. To be a father even if it's 30 years too late." Keisha's vision blurred. Tears poured down her face. Hot and fast and unstoppable. "I watched her die. I found her on the bathroom floor. She was alone. She died alone because you weren't there. Because you chose money over her. Over us." "I know." David was crying too. "I know and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't fix what I did. I can't bring her back. But I can be here now. If you'll let me." Keisha wanted to hate him. She wanted to grab the money and run. To never see him again. To forget this night ever happened. But something inside her broke open. Something she had buried for 15 years. The part of her that wanted a father. That needed family. That was tired of running and lying and stealing. "I can't," she sobbed. "I can't just pretend like everything is okay." "I'm not asking you to," David said. He took a step closer. "I'm just asking you to stay. Talk. To let me know you." Keisha looked at the money on the floor. At the safe. At the photograph of her mother. Young and smiling and full of life. Before everything went wrong. "I was going to rob you," she said again. "I was going to take everything and disappear. I know. Marcus is waiting outside. He's going to be angry when I come back empty-handed. He might hurt me." David's face hardened. "Then don't go back to him. Stay here. Let me help you. I don't deserve help. I'm a bad person." "You're not." David's voice was firm. "You're someone who was hurt and alone and did what she had to do to survive. But you don't have to survive anymore. You can live. Really live." Keisha closed her eyes. She thought about her mother. about the yellow dress in the photograph, about all the choices that led to this moment. She thought about Marcus, about the lies, about the empty feeling that never went away no matter how much money she stole. She opened her eyes. "I need to turn myself in," she said. "For everything I've done. All the people I hurt. I need to make it right." David nodded slowly. "Okay. I'll get you the best lawyer. I'll be there. Every step." "Why would you do that?" "Because you're my daughter. And I already lost 30 years. I'm not losing another day." Keisha picked up the photograph from the floor. She traced her mother's face with her finger. "She would want me to do better. To be better." "She would be proud of you," David said. "No, she wouldn't. Not yet. But maybe someday." Keisha put the photograph in her purse. "Can I keep this?" "It's yours." "Is yours." She always was. They stood there in the bedroom. Father and daughter. Strangers and family. The city lights glowed through the windows. Atlanta spread out below them. Full of possibility. Full of pain. Full of second chances. Keisha pulled out her phone. Her hands didn't shake anymore. She dialed 911. "I need to report a crime," she said when the operator answered. "I need to confess to theft and fraud. Multiple counts." She looked at David. He stood beside her. "Close. My name is Keisha Williams. And I'm ready to start over." David reached out and took her hand. She let him. His grip was warm and steady and strong. For the first time in 15 years, Keisha didn't feel alone. Thank you for watching until the end. If this story moved you, please subscribe to Tales by Mbel and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Your support means everything. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss our next emotional story. See you in the next one.